What's some stupid financial purchases you have seen people making and regretting later on? I've personally witnessed myself buying two $7 coffees a day for months on end instead of eating breakfast and lunch. A brand new car right out of college with a predatory loan. A $200,000 house in 2017 after the inspector only took about 40 minutes to look after the house. Yeah, it was me. I was very young and didn't know any better. I should have listened to that nagging feeling that something was off and hired another one and chalked up the money. Lesson learned. Friend spent $1,000 on a drone 2 years ago. Has used it twice, for about 2 hours each time. I saw my cousin just announce she quit her low-paying job to be a stay-at-home parent and she's trying for her 6th child with second baby daddy who doesn't have a great job. We'll see if she regrets it. FYI, she's a trust fund baby but not a gigantic one, so she's blowing through it all without a care. Boats. Getting blonde hair and not realizing how expensive getting and staying blonde is. I'm not really sure if they are regretting it, but my neighbor. Several of them actually. But they all bought Tesla Y at its peak price of $75K base. Now the new one is at $37K. I work for a university. I talked to a student the other day who I can't get out of my head. She has been a student since 2015. Has an undergrad and 2 masters. Has started and now dropped 2 PhD programs. Over halfway through both of them. Her GPA is excellent. So it's not like she is failing out or unable to complete the work. She has complete maxed out federal loans. Her parents have taken Parent Plus loans. She has used her spouse's GI Bill and other military tuition assistance. I'm not in financial aid, so I don't know exact amounts. But I know she has borrowed at least $180,000. She has never worked outside of internships for her classes. She kept enrolling in new courses because she couldn't afford to pay the principal on her loans and now is totally backed into a corner. She's going to ruin her relationship with her parents when she doesn't pay the loans they co-signed on. Her husband could lose his military clearance. She has young kids. I don't know what on earth she is going to do. And to top it off, her degrees don't have any sort of licensing attached to them. 6 figures of debt and almost 10 years of education for a career field she has never worked a day in. Steelworker families with 2 incomes buying a house they can barely afford. Then getting slammed when one or both of them has their overtime hours cut. A lady I worked with was complaining that groceries were too expensive and I asked her if she tried shopping at Aldi's and she said only poor people shop there. She didn't appreciate it when I reminded her that she just said she can't afford groceries. Buddy asked me for $400 to make rent. Then I heard through a mutual friend he used it to buy a 4-wheeler that same day. He definitely regretted it when I never lent him money ever again. Car loans longer than the car's warranty. Timeshare, vacation club. Big, expensive weddings. I had a coworker with a fortune in losing scratchy lottos in a desk drawer. $20, $30. Expensive scratch cards. Hundreds. So stoked when he'd win $1,000 or $5,000. Hated when we'd point out just how much he'd spent for that win. Collectible fads, like Funko Pops or whatever else is trending now. It was NFTs for a while. People living in apartments who rent their furniture. I've lived in my apartment since 2014 and have seen many people come and go. If I see a rental truck show up with furniture, I know their time will be short in our apartment complex. They always have gotten evicted, usually within less than a year. Buying a new toolbox off the tool truck, or tools off the tool truck in general. I mean, if you gotta have it, I get it, but dang. I got one for myself. Fast food. I spend way too much money on cheap, bad quality food just because I don't want to go through the effort of cooking or I'm running errands and don't want to stop or I'll lose all motivation. Soldiers returning from overseas deployments and immediately dumping all of their deployment money, usually north of $60,000, on a brand new overpriced car. These cars cost too much to insure because these guys are in their early 20s. So they don't bother with that. Then they total the car 6 months later.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.